Brian Green here. Join me on my investigation of the Commission on Judicial Conduct here in Washington State. The Washington Commission on Judicial Conduct disciplined less than 1% of judges complained against in 2014. Of this less than 1%, 75% were reprimanded by letter alone. No records kept of their transgressions, just a letter. Judges are also immune to the Public Records Act in Washington State. As you can see, the judicial is truly above the law.
All have read the minutes. Do I have a motion to approve or to amend or make any corrections? No corrections?
Motion to approve the minutes from the last business day.
Do I have a second? Moved and seconded. All in favor of approving the minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
Yes, thank you for showing up today. You can surely invite you, if you wish, to introduce yourselves and to make comment if you wish. And I start off at the beginning for your convenience. If you wish to make any comments, you have 3 minutes. I'd like to limit it as much as you can. It's just up to 3 minutes for the benefit of everyone, so everyone can speak. Is there any one of you who'd like to introduce yourselves or have any comment? Yes, sir.
Yeah, my name is Phil Scheidler, and I write for corruptwash.com. And my interest is in judicial misconduct. And in writing at corruptwash.com, I've interviewed and spoke with a great number of people who have found their way into the judicial system. And my takeaway from all of these stories is that there's criminal conduct being committed by judges and lawyers in the courts. And criminal conduct that these people tell me about, and I look at the court documents and the court records and the testimony and the transcripts. When they file their grievances against the judges and against these attorneys for the criminal activity, and I could step you through a number of different statutes that have been violated almost across the board by judges. The commission simply takes the input, slaps on the rejection letter, and sends it back as not sufficient evidence. Clearly, based on the number of people that I've been in speaking with, we're growing angry. And the corrupt judicial system is corrupt because of you folks here not doing your job. And my question is, how long do you think the public's going to tolerate you folks not doing your job and allowing judges and lawyers to use the courts to commit crimes against citizens?
Appreciate your comment, Mr. Schreiber.
Do you have an answer to any of that?
Well, I can only tell you that we do every case that we look at. We do as best we can under the circumstances to review all facts. Please be assured that we don't meet for any purpose other than to meet the responsibilities that we have. We try our best. I believe that we have answered the responses and the complaints made to the best of our ability, but I do appreciate you bringing it to our attention, and it's like it's your conscience that will try even harder to do so. Thanks again. Any other comments?
My name's Arthur West. I'd like to.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Arthur West. I'd like to speak briefly.
Yeah,
Not everybody's angry with the conduct of this commission. In fact, I like to compliment the commission on how quickly it manages its docket and how efficiently it deals with complaints. In looking at doing research nationwide, many other similar institutions in other states do not act as efficiently or quickly as the Judicial Conduct Commission, and indeed the rate of sustained complaints is up in the 10 to 15% range, whereas this commission, acting efficiently and quickly, has a less than 1% rate of sustained complaints. And I'd like to compliment you on not wasting citizens' time by finding judges to have committed misconduct or perhaps censuring them or removing them from the bench, as many other states do to a terrific expense to the taxpayers. So this commission, in having a less than 1% rate of sustained complaints, saves an inordinate amount of money to the taxpayers and is quite efficient in dealing with its docket. In fact, most of the complaints don't even require any significant investigation and are dismissed out of hand. So as far as acting efficiently and managing your docket, you're doing a great job. And as far as anyone who wants to engage in the act of marriage to another person of the same sex, we're completely covered in that. And I really encourage you to issue other reprimands, as the single reprimand I believe you issued last year to Judge Tabor for failing to marry a couple of the same sex or refusing to conduct those services. I would just hope that perhaps we could look more closely to the actual judicial functions of judges adjudicating cases. But thank you for all of your hard work and for your zealous actions in managing your docket efficiently and having a less than 1% sustained complaint rate. You have a good day.
Thanks, Mr. Russell. Really appreciate it. Any other comments?
That was very well said.
I appreciate
Yes, I'm Brian Green, and I'm with Liberty's Champion. I'm a journalist. And, well, I'd like to say Article 1, Section 10 of the Washington State Constitution states that justice is to be administered openly. Now, I'm kind of curious how secrecy in regards to investigating judges promotes confidence in the openness and impartiality of the judiciary. And I strongly believe that secrecy regarding this investigation only fosters distrust of judges and ruins public confidence in the fairness, openness, and impartiality of the judicial, especially since the evidence shows, as Mr. West just stated, this commission finds nearly all judges blameless. You know, less than 1% is quite a small number for by any standard. It would appear that from that less than 1%, this organization is not set up to maintain and discourage. Is set up and maintained to discourage. Is not an organization set up and maintained to discourage the bad acts of and unlawful behavior of judges and to promote confidence in the judiciary, but rather an organization which provides an extra layer of cover for judges violating individual rights, and that the record of disciplinary actions taken versus the amount of complaints lodged is clear evidence of this allegation. Less than 1% makes the commission ineffective at best and a bad joke at its worst. Although a reasonable person could hardly call the actions taken by the commission as any real form of discipline. 75% of that less than 1% was by letter alone. And I think there should be an investigation into this commission. I don't believe we the people are getting any value for the undoubtedly huge amount of taxpayer money spent here. I think this commission should be reorganized outside the overwhelming influence of the Bar Association, whose main goal is to protect its members. It's my contention that this commission should not be filled with judges, mostly bar members, who have built-in conflicts and who are obviously sympathetic to their fellow judges, assisting in the enslavement of the people and ensuring the judicial is never held to account in any significant way. Thank you.
Thank you again, Mr. Green, for your comments and the manner in which you presented. Any other comments? One thing, the Bar Association and the Commission are separate this time. I understand what you're getting to, and you understand that. Thanks again. Okay, go on with our meeting. There's no announcements for commission decisions at this time. We have approved the business meetings. And I, as chairperson, have no specific report at this time. But I would like to hear from our executive director, Rico, regarding your report.
Thank you. And I want to read on the public record our new alternate attorney member, Elizabeth Renee. Welcome to the commission. This is her first meeting. And we did do introductions around the table during the executive session, so I won't ask that to be repeated. But welcome on the record in this first public meeting of the commission since you've joined us. In regard to the budget, we have just submitted a supplemental budget request to the Office of Financial Management to fix an uneven funding split between fiscal years. For several years, our operating budget differed by as much as $74,000 between fiscal years, which was very unwieldy and really didn't serve any purpose. So this is pretty much a technical correction that we're asking to be effected by the legislature, and hopefully it'll go smoothly. I believe we did the submission of our packet just yesterday, literally. So I'll keep you posted as to how that goes. In terms of commission's membership, we have one vacancy still in the public member alternate position for Sherry Appleton. Other than that, with the appointment of Ms. Renee, we have an almost full house. In terms of training and outreach, in July, the attorney employees of the commission attended the annual meeting of the National Association of Judicial Disciplinary Counsel for specialized training in the area. I've been invited to provide ethics training on a two-person panel for the network of adjudicative agencies later in October on the 14th in Tumwater. This group is state agencies or units who perform an administrative review function or as a standalone service. In other words, they're hearings officers, and they don't really fall under, well, they don't, not really fall, they don't fall under this agency's jurisdiction. They have kind of a patchwork of either the existence of ethics codes themselves, some of them do, some of them don't, and there's a patchwork of enforcement entities. So some of these hearings officers are really not subject to any ethics enforcement whatsoever, and if there is to be any review of an ethics issue from one of their decisions in regard to their conduct, it would really have to go through the appellate process, if any. And nonetheless, they have for a number of years requested ethics training and are exhorted to either adopt a code if they've not yet done so, or to have their conduct guided by existing codes, such as the Judicial Conduct Code or codes of other similar agencies. It's historically been the case that there have occasionally been movements to want to include administrative law judges under the ambit of the Judicial Conduct Commission. However, that would require a couple pretty big things. It would require a constitutional amendment, and it would also require a real overhaul in terms of funding and staff power and probably commission membership in order to accommodate a very high number of administrative hearings officers. Likewise, there's been a couple moves to try and sweep them in with the bar discipline process, and that has been rather robustly defended against, I guess, by the bar. They've not taken that on for a variety of reasons, including the position that these are adjudicative, quasi-judicial functions that don't properly belong under the ambit of the bar disciplinary process either. So it's just kind of an interesting kind of gray area that exists out there. I think it's commendable that they seek out ethics training, and those are always very, very well-attended programs. Also in October, Kurt is going to be presenting an ethics program together with King County Superior Court Judge Rich McDermott, whose name I left out, at the Institute for New Court Employees, which I think is taking place in Thurston County. And that is something that staff from this agency has assisted with for at least 18 years. It's training for court employees, again, specifically in ethics, which is very useful. I think it's the only area where they get express ethics training, and it's always been very welcome. They're often faced with a lot of dilemmas, and I think it's been quite useful. It's called the Institute for New Court Employees, but it's open to even people with a lot of tenure. I also agreed to participate on another episode for administrative hearing officers for the Department of Licensing, specifically on October 23rd. That's going to be at the Rhodes Center in Tacoma, and they've asked me to focus on demeanor issues specifically. And most, if not the vast majority of people who come before administrative law judges or hearings officers are unrepresented. And so they're pro se people without legal training, and they're approaching the hearings officer on an issue that's very significant and important to them. And of course, demeanor is vital, proper demeanor is vital to maintain. So they've asked for express training on that. And the 24th National College on Conduct and Ethics is going to take place October 28th and 30th. Judge Ehrlich is going to be a presenter at the college. And we've got 9 people scheduled to attend the college. If you have any questions that are hanging out there that are open about your travel logistics, please be sure to get in touch with Connie Callahan at the office. And then since I wrote this report, I was also invited and agreed to go to a meeting of the Thurston County Bar Association because they've asked for a presentation on the commission. So I'll do that. I've got it in my calendar. I can't remember where it is right now, but later this month.
I'm trying to get you to dig for that case.
Oh, yes, and Judge Ross is going to be training and has invited me to assist with ethics training for the spring conference you'll see in JA, District and Municipal Court Judge Association, and at a location to be disclosed.
Date and location is hopefully coming through by the end of the day.
Thank you. In terms of technology at the office, we're doing more and more electronic distribution of materials, and we're currently investigating use of tablets as readers. And what we want is something that, of course, is secure, is convenient to you, and that you can write notes on that you can use. So those are, and that won't be a crazy amount of money or hard to use. So we've been communicating with New Mexico that has about a year under its belt of operating with tablets, and the feedback from their commission has been uniformly positive. People find it very convenient. They're really at the cutting edge of this, so we'd like to learn from their mistakes.
So we are doing that at the Port of Pasco. We've done for that, and also the city of Pasco. So
Great.
You might use that.
I will definitely do that. Thank you. And the commission office, the block across the street from our office building, is being demolished and being rebuilt. And at some time in the indefinite future, we anticipate that we'll need to relocate our office to another location near the Capitol campus so that we can attend hearings at the legislature as are appropriate and come up, and so forth, and at the Supreme Court. This is going to result in some degree of disruption of service, so we will try to schedule the move to avoid meetings or any hearings that we've got. But I'll keep you posted, and we're really taking our marching orders from what happens on the campus. And then the last meeting date for this year is going to be Friday the 4th at this location, and we have distributed meeting dates for 2016 to you to put on your calendars. If you've not yet done so, please do calendar those, and if you have conflicts that you can foresee, let us know. We have a little bit of latitude as we set the calendar. And unless there are questions, that's my report. Oh, no, it's not. We also have a graph from Garrett demonstrating what we've got in terms of our caseload. And so that should be one of the materials. And that really does conclude my report unless you have any questions.
Any questions of Rachel regarding her report? Okay. Are there any, is there a report from the nominating committee? I'm sorry, go ahead.
I just have a question.
Okay.
We have minutes from the special meeting, July 17th. Do we need to approve those also?
Those are already. Okay. Those were already voted on, they're signed, I'm assuming.
You signed them and then they're voted on at the meeting, but and there was a motion and it was approved the regular part of the business session, but there was a special business session lasting only a few minutes.
So is there a requirement that this has to be reviewed now that it's already been
I'm
voted
not
on?
sure, right there, we need a separate vote for this
Sure, let's
separate document.
What we're looking at is the special meetings of minutes of July 17, 2015. We refer to those.
I'll move.
Second.
Second.
Any comments or additions, corrections? All in favor?
Aye.
So, is there a nominating committee report?
Yes.
Mike?
The committee has been busy. Dick Carson is the chair of the nominating committee, but he's unable to be here. So I've been asked to report to the commission on behalf of him as well as the committee itself. Last July, actually, we just approved that special session, special vote that brought Mike Ponderola, thank you.
I didn't get down to 17.
Ponderola as our commission chair.
Wish I had a name like Green or something.
Yeah, well, it's a good name. And Joe Bell as the commission vice chair for the year 2015-2016. At that time, we also mentioned, this is in July, in our July meeting, that we were not in a position yet to put forward a nominee for secretary, but we are now. And the committee feels it's best to have people from each member category on the executive committee, preferably people who have a few years of experience on the commission, so they'll be well informed and ready to address issues as they arise. Maggie Ross has served very well as our secretary, as the commission secretary for 3 years, and has let the committee know that she is willing to pass on this position, this responsibility. John Ehrlich has been with the commission for 10 years, maybe more, but 10 years, and is willing to take on the position of secretary. So with that said, the nominating committee proposes to the commission here that we elect John Ehrlich to be the secretary for the commission. Now, before we move into a vote, I first want to make sure that there are no other persons who wish to run for the position of commission secretary.
Are you sure?
Hearing? Okay, hearing none, and if Judge Ehrlich wants to make any campaign speeches, this is the time to do it.
I just want to state that if I am elected, I have very large shoes to fill. Thank you, Judge Ross, for.
Well, I move that the membership vote John Ehrlich as the commission secretary.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Congratulations, Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Anything else, Mr. Tate?
That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Are there any other additional committee reports? Any other business the commission wishes to bring up for us? Hearing none, I would put it adjourn the business session of the commission in this meeting. Thank you. Thank you, all of you who showed up for the commission meeting today. I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
I just have I was wondering, can I make a comment? Or?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, thank you, appreciate it. Good morning, everybody. My name is Mary Scheidler, and I'm Bill's wife. And I'll tell you what, the reason why we're here, back in 1998, my husband and I had confidence in the judicial system. However, our attorney bailed out the eve of our hearing, which left us hanging and having to fend for ourselves. Of course, we lost. So we went ahead and sued and to get our money back. We didn't get it back. And then our attorney changed the whole idea that we asked him to quit, which, why would we do that? If we paid them the money, why would we say, oh, never mind, we don't need you? So anyway, so we had to go pro se, only because we didn't feel the trust in our heart anymore in the judicial system. We figured, are we going to be ripped off again or what? So in turn, we got sanctioned, a little here, a little there, and it's total to almost 123 grand that we got sanctioned, all because we had all the evidence in our in the paperwork, everything that was done, evidence was there, but all the judges and attorneys just said, forget it. So they didn't fought for us with the, what we had on paper as evidence. And basically, it's like, well, come on, you guys. What don't you see here? What truth don't you see? So they were not fighting for us like we thought they were. So we had no choice but to go pro se. And this is even more of a battle because somehow attorneys and judges don't seem to really like pro ses. And granted, we don't have the education in the legal system, but we do have a mentality that God gave us to understand the English language. You know, and we like to put everything in a common core of the English language, not in this very gibberish kind of conversation or written papers like the legal system has. So I don't know if that's a way to confuse people, to make them think like they don't know any better, but nothing seems to be black and white as we see in the judicial system, unfortunately. So I'm hoping, and I'm not to say that all judges or attorneys are bad or unethical, because we know they're out there. We, unfortunately, haven't come across some that are, you know, good, that know the truth and are ethical and have moral issues. So that's why I'm here, or we're here.
Thank you again for sharing.
Thank you.
Okay,
Okay.
have a good day. And again, I thank all of you for appearing. Take care.